Hello, welcome to Oracle Fusion Hub's ADF tutorials. In the last tutorial, we have discussed about creating application module, entity objects, and view objects. And in this tutorial, we will be discussing about extending the entity objects and giving validation rules, giving UI hints, etc. And also, I will be discussing about creating the JSF pages. Now, let us quickly run this to see what is happening in the application module. Here, if I try to create a new employee, I can create by using this insert new row, and I have to give employee ID, first name, last name, email ID, and stuff like this. Now let us do some validations on this employee. There is this salary button of 24,000. I need this salary to be in the range of 0 to 99,000. Anything more than 99,000 I don't want, I cannot pay it, and anything less than 0 I cannot pay it. Obviously I cannot pay it. So I want to do this particular validation, and how do I do this? We can do this validation in the entity objects. Go to the employees, just double click the employees evo, and you will be presented with employees.xml page. Here, go to the attributes, because we are concentrated, we are dealing with attributes, and I am looking at salary attribute. Here in salary attribute, click on validation rules, and there is already a validation of precision 8.8,2. So more than that, they have this database constraints. So just click on the new attribute, and since I am dealing with the range, so let us make this range, rule type as range, and the between. Obviously it's between, whatever, I mean there are other things also, not between also there. So we are dealing with only between. So the minimum value is 0. It has to be 0 or more than 0, but it can't be less than 0. And the maximum value would be 99,000. Okay, so if a user tries to input more than 99,000 or less than 0, which is a negative value, the system will throw an error. And we want to show something, right? What should be the error handling message text? So let's say Oracle Fusion Hub error 5432, some random error, and just say you can't give this salary, labor policies are not met. Go ahead, change it to some value that you can think of, some random thing, and click on OK. Okay, just click on save all. You want to try it? Yes, of course, run it. Employees view, go to create new one, give employee 1101, first, last, and salary. How much salary do I need to give? Minus 99. Oh, JBOAT set val exception, and here it goes. Oracle Fusion Hub error 5402. You can't give the salary, labor policies or not, but go ahead and change it to some value you think you can. That is pretty much good. We have done it. We have constrained the user not to give some arbitrary value that is not a valid one. And just discard all changes since last save, so that this particular record is not saved. Of course it will not get saved. And let us do something else on the same, in the same lines. We have this hire date as some value here. You see 2003 06 17. We want this to be, let us have some format mask on this particular thing. So just exit and go to this your employees.xml. Where is hire ID? This is the hire ID. Okay, and in the hire ID you're not doing any validation for hire ID, but what we are doing is you're giving UI hints, you're giving format masks and all stuff like that. Okay, and let us change this format type to simple date, and this is the format. The format is YYMMDD. I don't like this, so I would change this as MMDDYY so that I can see what is the default format. And okay, the display value would be modified. I'm pretty much okay with it. And here I would change the default value. Let us have some default value. Let us have sysdate, system date, as the default value for hire date. So just add this expression, ADF dot current date, and save this. Go to your employee, save it. Did I save it? Okay. Go to your employee app module, click on run. So let us run this and just click on employees, new employee, and we have to create a new employee. And here if you see, you have a hire date here. That's it. That's how you do entity object extensions. Now since we have the application module and we have already done few validations for employee Evo, let us create a page for this. And how do we do this? Let's go to this view controller, click on new, and click on JSF, and click on the page. Here let us name this page as empdpt page. The document type should be JSP XML, and you can also click on render in mobile device so that it can be rendered in mobile device, but right now we are not doing this. And the page layout would be Oracle 3-column layout. Just click on OK, and you'll have this beautiful page that gets rendered. This is the default 3-column layout page that Oracle creates for us. So now I don't really want this end column. I'm okay with this two columns. So how do I do that? Just click on this. Just click on this end and then right click it. And delete it. So now you have two columns, start column and a center, and I want the start column to be a little broader. So what I do is I can click on this, or I can click on the AF page template and I can select the start column size. This is now 170. I would make it as 350. Now if I see, I have a little more broader start. I mean the first column is a little more broader one. Now I would add a panel accordion to the column here. So how do I do that? In the layout, you have panel accordion. Here is the panel accordion. Just drag and drop it in the first start column. And this would be my department's details. So let us name it as departments. And I would also create another section here inside insert after show details item. That would be a show details item, and I would name this as more info. So what I'm basically trying to achieve is, here I have created a department's details section, and for each department I have added the more info section. I will add a pie chart here so that I can relate the salaries that are associated for each department. And now I would add a panel collection. Where is panel collection? Here. This panel, before I add a panel collection, I want to divide this area into two, so that I can use two different areas for two different purposes. So to do that, I have to look for a panel splitter. Just drag and drop it in the center button. And I have an horizontal plan, splitter. I want this to be vertical, so just make it as vertical here, so that you have two different, one is the first one and the second one is this region. Now here I want to add a panel collection to the first region. Yes, now I have a panel here, and in the second I will add a panel tab. Yes, and I would rename this as edit employees, edit employee. That would be apt. So now if I see this is how it looks. Just save it, and you want to run it and see what is happening, you can do that as well. The server instance must be restarted. Restart it. We don't bother about it. Here is how it looks like. Here is the employee department page. This is the department section, and this is the more info section. This is the panel collection. This is panel tabbed one. So now let us add bindings for these pages so that our pages will have data into it. How do we do that? Go to the application navigator. You have this data controls here. Just click on this, refresh it, and for all the business services they have this data bindings that got created. And now open this departments view and see, like you are having all the bindings that are created here. So just click on the departments view and drop it into the departments, and the form would be ADF read-only form. And I would include navigation controls. your page is ready with the department's data. Now for this departments, we have the employees view 3 association has also been created. So just drop this employees data into the panel collection, and this would be a read-only table, and I don't want these 3, so I can remove them. I will enable sorting, enable filtering. I can enable row selection as multi rows and just click on it, and your employee details will be added to this panel collection. I want to edit it. How do I do that? Just click on just drag and drop this particular thing into the edit employee, and it's not read only, but it's form because we can edit it. And I include a submit button here. Here also I don't need to proceed with any of these things. Just click on OK. Now just save it and run it. You can, I have shown you how to run it from the context, and now I'll show you how to run it here. When you click on view controller, you have this web content where you have this empty dpt. Just run it. Redeploying application. Here it goes. The application has been deployed. See, in the earlier one we don't have any of these details. Now we have all the details. So I talked about include navigation buttons. That means we are added with this next, last and stuff like that. Just click on next. Click on next and see how this is the panel collection, and you can use multi-select. You can just select as many number of things, or you can just select individual ones. And if you want to update, you can update it here. You want to update, let's suppose this is 2800, I'll add -99 and then click on submit. See, Oracle Fusion Hub error 5402. You can't give the salary, labor policies are not met and stuff like that. So that means all the validation rules are still being applied to it. And here is the UI hint 11/29/1998. That's an example. Now I shall add a pie chart here. I shall add something like a, what do you call, a pie chart to show the salaries and stuff like that. How do I do that? Just go to your JDeveloper and just come down, click on more info so that gets highlighted, and you want to include the employees view 3 data, but now instead of all the forms and all, I'll include a graph, and I would go for a pie chart. I just click on it, and it's more basically a salary based one. So the pie would be on salary, and what is the references? Reference will be the last name, so I take the last name here and just drag it and just click on OK. So it gets rendered. Click on save. You can resubmit the form. And you can see the data that gets fetched. But since this way you get the graph, but you're not getting the proper data, so that means you can't do it this way. You can do it, but it can't be done with accuracy. So what you have to do is you have to rerun the application, and here it goes. You have proper data now. You go to employee department 30 to get a good comparison. Thank you.